Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Hey guys, Bix Weir, roadtoroad.com. I want to talk about the kind of a year in review of silver. It was a crazy year. Began the year with some conspiracies and silver about to break through 30, and then throughout the year, the banking cabal came in and tamped it down, as Rustam Bennett, the head of the CFTC, calls it. There was a resolution to the initial jump up at the end of February, first quarter. Those of you who have followed the Road to Rhoda know who did it. No, it was not Wall Street Bets. Not even close. And that, yes, Wall Street Bets was a group of retail investors that took GameStop into the heavens and AMC and other stocks that were heavily shorted by the banking cabal. It was a way to fight back. Great job. Silver was completely different and got misconstrued by a lot of people. But in the same vein, it brought a lot of people in to understand that silver is manipulated and rigged and massively undervalued. It gave rise to my friends over there at Wall Street Silver. Wall Street Silver is a YouTube channel. A couple of guys, a long-time silver bugs, started a great channel, and a lot of information is getting out now about the silver manipulation. But it wasn't Reddit that caused the short squeeze in silver. It was on GameStop and AMC, but no, not even close. Remember, the vast majority of retail investors in silver, which I love to death because I am one of them, don't have anything to do with comics, anything at all. A tiny, tiny handful do have some comics contracts, but very few, if any, ever take delivery. Basically, you got to be a big player if you want to take delivery of that large, an amount of silver 1,000-ounce bars. I'm not an advocate of 1,000-ounce bars. Yes, you can get your silver cheaper, but when you sell that 1,000-ounce bars, you'll be selling for less than spot. Hope everybody understands that. How much less, I don't know, because it has to be processed still. If the comics is still around, maybe you'll get spot. Maybe. No, you won't. Because it's a hassle. And on the retail level, and what are you going to do with a 1,000-ounce bar when silver goes to $10,000 an ounce? You're sitting there with $10 million of a block of silver. Yes, you'll have to pay to have it broken down probably in 1-ounce coins, remelted and cast into 1-ounce coins. But a lot of that we'll find when you try to cash in your 1,000-ounce bar, you're going to get less than spot. So just keep that in mind when you're buying. Yes, you can get it cheap, but at the same time, you're not going to sell it for spot. Having said that, the guys over at Wall Street Silver are great, but they had nothing to do with the rise in silver at the beginning of the year. And I've showed that many times. I'm going to show you again because it just was announced the conclusion of the entity that did actually make the price of silver rise to $30, make Goldman Sachs freak out, make Jeffrey Christian freak out, and the banking cabal freak out, as well as the head of the CFTC, a guy named Rustam Bennett, the acting head of the CFTC, who actually came out and told the world that they had to rig the price of silver to keep it low. He called it tamping down the price of silver. My guess is that they went to the entity that actually did buy all that silver and said, hey, you either shut down your silver buying or we're going to shut it down for you. And I'm going to show you who that was. But here's what happened to the price of silver after that initial run up to $30. We had basically gone sideways, and then people lost interest. And the reality is the only people who determine the price of silver are the banks. They take up 99.9% of the COMEX trades, which is over 100 billion ounces every year, which is ridiculous, obviously. But they're silver derivatives. You just got to remember that. And the U.S. government is in on the con, so it's hard to stop it. The only way to find out the true price of silver is to shut down the entire game. One other way, and that would be to implement Veritasium in every COMEX trade. Veritasium is a peer-to-peer transaction software that Reggie Middleton invented to fix the markets. That's why the U.S. government and the SEC took him down in the most ridiculous way possible, because they do not want their rigged markets to be fixed. They are entirely and 100% dependent on rigging markets to keep the facade of the U.S. Financial system going. And those who have followed the road Ruta understand why that is. It was built on a foundation of lies back even from 1913 when they found all the gold in the Grand Canyon and locked it up. Woodrow Wilson had to lock it up and create the Federal Reserve just so billions and billions of ounces doesn't come onto the market at a time when there was only 100 million ounces, 120 million ounces in circulation in the United States, and gold was money back then. Now gold is no longer money, so who knows why. Now it's just continuing the fraud. And Rustin Benham told the world exactly what he did to silver. So who did Rustin Benham run over and say, hey, knock it off? These guys right here. An entity called Private Advisor Group. As you can tell from the filings, Private Advisor Group bought 1/3 of all of SLV in the first quarter. 1/3. At least. That was the last day of the quarter. So at least 1/3, 191 million ounces was 1/3 of the approximate 600 million ounces of SLV that was up for sale. A single entity, Private Advisor Group. And then what happened was Rustin Benham said, hey, don't you dare, we're gonna throw you all in jail. So they had to, and at that point it was worth $4.3 billion worth of silver. And because they're a private advisor group, they are not subject to the same rules, but they did have to report it. And here's the reporting right here. Then the next quarter, they knocked off 60 million ounces. And then the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter, back to zero, or practically zero, 5 million. So they started the year at 5 million. They ended the third quarter at 5 million because Rustin Benham came in and said, don't you dare. And Goldman Sachs freaked out. Bank of America freaked out. Bank of America had to lease a hell of a lot of physical silver from J.P. Morgan in order to do this, to keep the price of silver tamped down. Free markets are long gone, by the way, long gone. Remember, we're trading at less than 50% of silver's all-time high from 1980. That's how insane that is. But so there it is. It's right there, and there's your documentation. Shares held now are a total of 5 million. So at one point they had 190 million shares, which each share is equivalent to an ounce of silver. Now I don't know if they took possession of them, but the total inventory of SLV started the year at 600 million ounces and is going to end the year right around 600 or 590 million ounces. They might have taken possession of some, I don't know. They could have just been told, we're going to RICO charge you like we did JP Morgan unless you get out. This is how fragile the silver market is because of the manipulation. So any entity with a few $1 billion can go in and scare banks shitless by buying SLV and then taking delivery of the silver, which you can do if you have over 50,000 shares. You can take delivery. So where did these guys go? What happened to Private Advisor Group? And why haven't we heard anything about them? Well, it turns out they are also investors in the Sprott gold and silver ETF called CEF. And during this time, from January, they held quite a few. $93 million worth. And since then, they jumped it to $177 million. So just about doubled it. Nowhere near the $1 billion that they had, the $4 billion that they had right here. They had $4 billion of silver. Now, the Sprott ETF is like 65% gold and then 35% silver. I hope the Sprott group would, go at least 50-50. I mean, the price of silver and gold should be 50-50. And if Sprott added a hell of a lot of silver to their CEF, you would see a 50-50 pricing, but that's not allowed right now. Sprott doesn't want to get in trouble either. The other thing they are investing in is, again, this is Private Advisor Group. Here they are, and they just jumped their investment this third quarter by another, 100 million to another $70 million in physical gold at the Sprott Gold Trust. So there's your answer. Who is it? Private Advisor Group. Who is Private Advisor Group? They are, let's take a look. And here they are, Private Advisor Group. Now they're named a private advisor, designated as a private advisor, means they don't have the same reporting requirements, which is good. Basically, it's a lot of rich people getting together and having a group of individuals advise them. You want to see who the advisors are? There are some famous names in here. About us, Private Advisor Group at a glance. There's the CEO. What's the guy's? Our team. Here we go. So Guy Amati. You guys know who that guy is. He's on like CNBC or something. He's one of the main investment advisors. And she probably has a tough job, Raffinelli Adamson being the compliance director. I don't know if these are good guys or bad guys. I don't know if the sale of this, I lost it. The sale of, here it is. I don't know if the sale of their position, this position here, was the reason silver was down some. I do know. No. I mean, we're talking about 191 million ounces that were sold in the last 2 quarters. And the average sale price on the COMEX, average volume on the COMEX, is right around 200-300 million ounces anyway. So that's 1 day's. But they took delivery of the shares. Maybe. They definitely bought the shares in their filing. So basically, private advisor, and what it tells me is it is so easy to destroy the silver cabal. But the problem with destroying the silver cabal is the United States government is going to protect them at all costs because they would foment the destruction of much more. And number two, do they really want to do it? Private Advisor Group has, silver was not their biggest holding. If you look at Private Advisor Group right here, their biggest holding is Apple, followed by Spider 500 Index, Vanguard Index, Microsoft. I mean, all those companies would be destroyed if silver went through the roof. So maybe they woke up and said, "Oh my God, what have we done? We could destroy the entire system with this." And our portfolio has all these stocks in it. That's probably what Rustam Benham and the CFTC went and told them. This is with the help of the SEC, obviously. I don't think Gary Gensler was the man at the time, but he would have been. Oh yeah, we have to save the system. So that's where we are as far as silver goes. Where will it go next? I don't know. Any entity with a few $1 billion could do the same thing at any moment and take delivery of that silver. So yeah, the fraud continues. Silver will continue to be suppressed until the moment it doesn't. Now I am working on a timeline at Road to Ruta on the private road as to when that moment will be, and I will throw out my projection with everybody else's projection, basically. So that's what we got. That's the truth behind silver. Again, by the way, I have posted 3 parts of The Best of Jenny Moonstone, our silver spiritual readings. Check those out. You'll be really interested to find out the spiritual take and the spiritual battle that's going on with the entity known as silver in the spiritual realm. And it is a battle. Silver has the ability to destroy the bad guys. But we will see how that goes over the next few months. This is Bix Weir. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, it's time to have a little fun with our friends on the comics. This song goes out to that big old gigantic naked short out there. You know who you are. It's kind of lonely at the top, ain't it? I thought I heard the people say, "Pay me my silver now. Tomorrow's another trading day. But pay me my silver now. Watching the comics prices rise. Pay me my silver now. JP Morgan naked shorts the highs. Pay me my silver now. Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. CFTC, you better shut it down. Pay me my silver now. There's people rising up in every town. Pay me my silver now. The Gatta boys are in the know. Pay me my silver now. Tinfoil hats at the silver show. Pay me my silver now. Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. Butler nails you every time you try. Pay me my silver now. The BPS shows how much you lie. Pay me my silver now. The game is done when the silver's gone. Pay me my silver now. Comex metal in the warehouse, none. Pay me my silver now. Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. The banking boys melt that witch. Pay me my silver now. Deliver those bars and melt that bitch. Pay me my silver now. Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. 'Cause now is the time to free our land. Pay me my silver now. Silver in my pocket, paper in the can. Pay me my silver now. Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now. Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.